Cannot believe it is already August 7th. It's the end of the first week of August. Things are just flying by. My kids are back into school, which is fantastic because after spending a whole summer with them, it's exciting. I love hanging out with them. I went swimming with my boy like every single night of the summer. I mean, I'm not kidding. Probably there was like a week in there combined that we did not go out to the pool and swim for about an hour and a half every single night. It was just awesome. But here's the thing, is they're back in school, which means that it's kind of sucks for them, but it's really good for me. It's very exciting because I get to have a little more time to focus and put some more content out. And we have some crazy stuff coming up here on the program. I'm super, super excited. We just had Stephen Larson on the show. I've got a few more amazing guests coming up very shortly. I am so excited. In the meantime, I have another wonderful coach, Annette Thomas, to be a part of our Future Success Stories series. We're going to do the quick little intro thing here and then right on to the story. As I build my coaching business, I want to know how to effectively serve clients and make more money doing it. This podcast will pull back the curtain to reveal exactly how successful coaches are building their empires. Join me as I engage with top coaches from all over the world to discover their secrets. No theatrics and no theory, just real-life strategy. My name is William Winterton, and this is Coaching Success Radio. Hello, Coaching Success Radio. William here, and today I am talking with Annette Thomas. She's very new in the coaching world, but very passionate about what she's doing. She is a women's empowerment coach who only started less than 6 months ago. She really works hard on building up women's physical and mental strength, and she has her own podcast that she's just launched. She's really on fire, and I'm super excited to bring her onto the show today. So, Annette, are you there? How you doing?
Hi, thank you for having me, William.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I've been just enjoying the few moments really before the podcast, kind of chatting with you, but kind of learning a little bit more about what you're doing. And I'm really excited to hear some of the background and the behind the scenes as to what you're doing in your business.
Okay, yeah.
So let's just start real quick here and just say women's empowerment coaching. Tell me a little bit about why, maybe the foundation, how you started along the path to becoming a women's empowerment coach.
Well, oh gosh. Well, it started many years ago because I've always wanted to help others, but I didn't know how. And so looking back, I have always worked in jobs that or either helped particularly women feel confident about themselves or empowered to make decisions that put them first. And so it started out that I was like a personal shopper for a little while, and that was amazing because I got to help people expand their views about how they saw themselves and how they presented themselves. And then that moved on to working in the social care field. And so I started working as a support worker with people with learning disabilities. And it was great because I was able to advocate for them and support them along their life and the decisions that they made and to make sure that they lived a full and exciting life. And then that led on to me becoming a social worker, which I worked in social work for about 5 years. And during my period as working as a social worker, I supported service users with physical disabilities, mental health, and just looked at how I could encourage them to make the steps that they needed and wanted to make, and supported them along the way. And so what I loved about social work was the fact that I was able to advocate, I was able to create person-centered support plans, assessing people, working with people that helped them change the way that they were living and brought more independence into their lives, and also looked at their identity and how they could view themselves differently in a more positive light. And so that led me to exploring coaching. And it was really interesting because the things that I learned in coaching was the things that I used in social work in a way. So that was my journey really, and what led me into coaching, and also my personal experience because I'm a Black woman living in the UK, and
Sure.
I have come across a lot of discrimination and racism, and you know, not being represented in the media as, you know, portrayed as traditional, you know, pretty or beautiful in media as I was growing up. So what I had to do was work on my confidence and my identity as well. And so that all fed into me moving and into coaching as well. And that's why I wanted to help women overcome, you know, confidence issues, feeling overwhelmed, stressed. So, yeah.
So the background in the social working is what really kind of got things.
Yeah.
I'm assuming are you still working full time as a social worker, or what do
No,
you?
I'm in the path. I'm in transition.
Okay, so you are going full time into the coaching world and just jumping all in.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And as a social worker, of course, I mean, you worked with kind of, like you said, people who had mental challenges, all these sorts of health challenges, lots of varying degrees, but you've narrowed yourself in because of your own path and your own story to working specifically with women and helping them to empower. So how has that helped you in your own personal life and personal development and growth to feel like, okay, I'm gonna go out and serve the exact people that follow the path that I was following and stuck in. How is that helping to kind of feed you and grow you and nurture your soul a little bit more?
I think it's just a connection that there is something bigger than myself, and that it's given me purpose, because I'm very spiritual. I believe in law of attraction, and you know what comes around goes around, and being mindful of others and where I sit in this world and what I do with my time. And so that's what it's enhanced that connection. So, and it's helped me become intentional with my life and what I want to leave behind when my time is up, really.
Sure. So you actually began a path about a year ago to go in and become a certified coach. Tell me a little bit about that. What certification you got, why you chose to kind of go that route.
Yeah, well, it's just it took a very long time to find out the right course, because, as you know, there are so many, you know, qualifications.
Oh my gosh!
In person, online, you know what was the most stressful part for me was actually finding a course that fit, because it felt like I would every night I would be online searching for the right course, because I knew that I didn't have the time to be going into class to train. You know, I knew that I needed that flexibility because of my work and personal life at the time. But then I also knew that I wanted that supervision and recognition. And so, you know, it did take a very long time to find the course, but I found a course with UK CPD, and I obtained a diploma in life coaching. And so that involved a lot of online completing assessments, working with my tutor at the time. She's absolutely fabulous. And, you know, so I went through the different models in coaching, like grow, success, you know, power questions, what models. And it was amazing to do that training and actually looking at how I could help someone, you know, identify a goal and how I can move them along that path to achieve their goal by using different models. And what I liked was that it could be used interchangeably, but also if you identified that a person is stuck, then you can use different models to help them along their way. And as part of my training, I actually, to complete my training, was to complete 50 hours of coaching, which was supervised. And that was amazing, because at first, as you know, you think to yourself, oh my gosh, how am I going to get 50 hours of coaching?
Right. That seems so daunting. It seems impossible.
And I recall speaking to my supervisor, Mel, at the time, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know that many people.
Right.
Like, what? How am I? What? Why are they asking me to do this? And then she was like, why don't you just go on Facebook? And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Light bulb moment. Why didn't I think of that? And it's like, as soon as I went onto Facebook, it just literally opened up so many opportunities. So yeah, that's how I looked into training and trained up as a coach, really.
So then you got through your training and started your coaching only about 4 months ago. Tell me a little bit about the process going in, starting in your own business, and some of the obstacles that maybe came along your path. Because if you're like anybody else out there listening, or myself, or really anybody starting a small business, there's always some kind of a challenge that pops up, or multiple. So what was that like, just kind of getting things off the ground and getting going?
It was, what became apparent was how it changed all the time. So and so much information is available to you, and there was one point that I was getting lost in all the information, and that stopped my actions, because I always used to think, no, I need to read this information, I need to follow that guide, and then I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And that's what I did. Facebook is a fantastic resource, and so is Google, and so is YouTube. Because, in terms of when you're designing your website, use Google to research other coaches that has a similar message to your own. Research what is, available, different coaching styles, because then that helps you reflect on how you want to be seen. And also the competition. You don't want to be like everybody else out there. You've got to be unique and offer something slightly different. And what was very key to me, because at first I felt like I wanted to coach everyone. Everyone needs Annette in their life. Right. But after being involved in so many Facebook groups and conversation with other coaches, you need to find your niche. And that was drummed into me.
Oh yeah, that is hardcore. One of the first rules, because you're just gonna end up overwhelming yourself. You're not gonna get your message out. So tell me then a little bit about, with your business now, how is the best way you're attracting clients? You've mentioned Google, you've mentioned YouTube, you've mentioned Facebook. The people that are ideal for you to serve, what do you find is the best resource for you to draw them in to your business?
It's definitely Facebook to start off with.
So what are you doing?
Just posting in different Facebook groups that are very specific to the people I want to work with, and that I know that I can best serve. So it's, business, networking, women orientated groups, entrepreneur groups on Facebook. That's where I'm posting, offering. And also when I see a member from the community posting a question, not going in trying to sell myself straight away, but answering questions and being open about, okay, well, I've answered your question and evidence how I could help you by my response. Check out my website and get to know whether you want to have, a free 30-minute, everyone calls it different, clarity calls, or,
right,
all of that. But, a 30-minute call just to talk about how I can help you, how we can work together, what are your main, concerns or areas that you feel that you want to work on, and taking it from there, really. So that's how I've worked on Facebook, is doing that and looking for opportunities as well. And, what has been great is exploring ways to be more present and visible as well, and working with other businesses.
Yeah. So what has that been like?
It's been really interesting. At the moment, I'm currently, because I never thought about workshops, and this idea only came from reading a Facebook group about coaches and Facebook group, and someone was discussing about workshops and approaching gyms and approaching other businesses. And I was like, oh, I never thought about that. And so that has helped me actually explore other areas and getting my business and my face and who I am out there. And so I'm exploring workshops, which is absolutely amazing, and I've had positive feedback and actually having discussions about how I can work with businesses and where I can run my workshops. So it's been great.
That's wonderful. And then also you've mentioned that you have a podcast that you've launched as well. So tell me a little bit about that and what your plans are and hope for having a podcast are.
Well, Empowered She podcast was born out of, connecting with other coaches. Because what I found was it can be quite isolating, and you feel as though you're just plodding along in your own world sometimes. Sure. And so and I just wanted to learn from other coaches, even though they have a completely different area of coaching and operate completely different to myself and have different experiences and expertise. I just wanted to learn and create great connections. And that's where Empowered She podcast came about, really. And so the ethos for Empowered She podcast is, for women that want to feel inspired and take action on becoming an empowered woman. And it's a woman that understands who she is and accepting of her flaws and embraces her capabilities without guilt nor shame. And that's kind of, looking at life and the beauty of it and sometimes the challenges of life. And so with the podcast, I actually have other coaches on the podcast to talk about their experiences and what their whys are, and their training has been, and the people that they work with, and help them actually deliver fantastic advice to listeners. So my recent podcast was with Irene, and we spoke about understanding child development and compassion. And so it's a completely different group of people that I work with and serve. And it was great to get skills, really, and information from Irene. And it is just amazing. So and it just gives a space for listeners to ask questions. So we answer questions for listeners as well.
It sounds awesome. And it's a great platform, like you said, for helping your own business out, but also just getting somebody else's message out. It's very similar to why Coaching Success Radio started. As I'm listening to you talk, I know we talked a minute ago, but it's like, I want to connect with coaches, and it sounds like you're just wanting to get, again, aligning the values doesn't necessarily mean you're aligning exactly what it is that you do. You may be in a completely different field of coaching, but if we're all attacking this thing at the same, from the same angle of, I want to make the world better, I want to improve people's lives, I want to, be able to make a difference and actually leave a positive impact, then I think that's brilliant. So I love that you're doing that. That's fantastic.
And I've got to say, again, like with, developing a business, it's research. I had no idea how to edit, recording a podcast, what best platforms, because there's so many platforms out there to host a podcast. And so it was pure, like, looking on social media, Facebook, and also Google. And it was trial and error, And that's what is one of my biggest tips, is to use the internet and to see how other people do it, and YouTube as well. That's how I came across Anchor or else I wouldn't have known anything about Anchor. Is using it as a platform for my podcast.
Right. Anybody who's listening who doesn't know, Anchor is a phenomenally easy way to just start publishing. Record it basically on your phone, right? And just publish it, and it just goes. Yeah, it's a great platform. Definitely. So very cool. I just want to say one more thing. If anybody wants to reach out and work with you, Annette, what are some of the best ways to do that?
Okay, well, I'm available on Facebook, and it's Self-Care Culture Club. And also I have a website as well, www.selfcarecultureclub.com, and you can always send me an email. And so my email address is selfcarecultureclub@gmail.com. And we can connect and we can talk about how we can work together, or if you want to, get some information and speak to me about my journey as a coach, then I'm there to help and support whichever is helpful for you. So definitely.
I think it'd be wonderful. I think especially women who are who resonate really well with your story, I think it would be super powerful, and probably a huge loss if they don't call you or connect with you in some way. I think you just got a great amount of wealth to share. So I would really encourage anybody who feels the tug to reach out to you to just go ahead and do it. It's a free call, and it's definitely worth 30 minutes of time to have a conversation, I would think.
Exactly. You never know. You know what can happen at times is that you think, oh, I don't want to do that, I don't want to make that call, but sometimes just making that call and hearing powerful words can change your life.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking us out. New episodes are coming out every few days, including lots of conversations with massively successful coaches sharing their secrets with you. So be sure to subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel so that you don't miss out. And if you're looking for a way to start making serious money from your coaching, you need to check out my free training. It's at williamwinterton.com. I lay out the step-by-step on how to start making 5 figures a month in the next 60 days. Check it out, williamwinterton.com. I'll see you next time.